I live across the street from the gorgeous couple. I'm not kidding. I don't know who's more beautiful, him or her. Tan, lean, fit, friendly. You know, they always smile when you walk by. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the rest of us on the block. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. I'm so glad you stopped by today. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you want all the good stuff, you might want to sign up for my Sunday morning email newsletter. It comes out every Sunday morning. It's short, it's sweet, it's totally free. I include all the cool things that I found throughout the week, whether it's a good sale or a handy tip or something funny or good information. It's really short, it's really sweet, it's really free. I think you're going to love it. The link is in the description box down below. And right now, I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I'm getting ready to rustle up some lunch, and I thought I'd show you guys what I'm making because protein is the name of the game. In my life right now, I'm really working to get those 130 to 140 grams of protein into my diet every day. Do I make it there? Almost never, but I keep trying. The reason it's so hard for me is that I get full. I really have a hard time eating that much protein, but I'm working on it. This recipe is a unique one that sounds so delicious to me, and it's a great way to kind of change things up. I try to eat chicken almost every single day because chicken seems to have the most bang for your buck when it comes to protein, at least in real food. You could obviously make a protein shake to have 30 or 40 grams of protein, which I do a lot, almost every day. But getting chicken into my diet is really important because for the amount of chicken that you need to eat to get 30 to 40 grams into a meal is doable for me. So today it's an Asian chicken with a peanut sauce that I'm going to whip up. And in this bowl right here are chicken strips. They're boneless chicken breasts that I cut into strips. I get my chicken from Cook's Venture. It is an organic free-range chicken company that you order it and they send it to your house. It's wonderful. I love it. I actually did a video a couple of weeks ago on the different companies that I use for my meats that I get. I've been marinating these chicken strips in a mixture of curry, turmeric, and powdered ginger for the last 24 hours. So they're really infused with the flavor. The base, of course, is coconut milk, and I could probably set this coconut milk mixture aside, heat it up, and then freeze it and use it as the base for a curry down the road, which I will probably do. But the chicken strips are very marinated, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook them in my air fryer. So I'm going to put them right in here and then cook them as per the instructions for my air fryer so that I get those nice little chicken strips that are tasty and cooked and moist. So I have my first batch in the air fryer ready to start cooking. While those chicken strips are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the sauce that I'm going to dip those chicken strips into. Usually in Asian cooking, they will serve some of their dishes with a peanut sauce, and that's pretty much what I'm going to make today, except I'm going to use almond butter instead of peanut butter. Why? Because I think it's a little bit more healthful. So I'm going to start with the almond butter, and I'm going to put about half a cup of this almond butter to start as a base. Now in my mixing bowl, I already have about a tablespoon of water. So this is going to thin out this almond butter and make it easier to use as a dip. I have that almond butter all mixed in with that water. It's still pretty thick. I am going to add some more liquid ingredients, but we might end up adding a little bit more water towards the end. I have grated garlic and fresh ginger, about a tablespoon of each. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the almond mixture. I love fresh ginger. I actually keep fresh ginger in the house all the time. It's so affordable, it's so good for you. And fresh ginger is just wonderful. It's just so much more flavorful and potent than the powdered ginger. Next up, I want to add a little bit of sweetener. I don't use sugar in my house, so I'm going to use my Swerve, the ultimate sugar replacement, which in my mind it is. This is the brown sugar flavor. This is the one that I find the most tasty. It almost has a little bit of a caramel flavor to it. Really like that. So I'm going to use a very generous, oversized tablespoon in this mixture. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of rice vinegar. And then instead of soy sauce, I'm going to be using liquid aminos. This is from the company called Bragg. I'm going to use a tablespoon of that. And then I have some garlic chili sauce to add a little bit of spice. This is delicious. If you don't have this, it's fine. You can use any hot sauce just to give it a little bit of kick. I'm gonna put in about a tablespoon, actually a little less than a tablespoon, maybe 3/4 of a tablespoon into this mixture. And then we're gonna mix that all around. The first batch is done in the air fryer. I cooked it in my air fryer about 12 minutes, but you'll have to check your air fryer and see how long for your air fryer. Let's go ahead and taste the chicken on its own. Oh my gosh. Flavorful, moist. I can taste that curry and turmeric. Really good. That would be great on its own or on a salad with some Asian dressing. Really good. So now let's see what it tastes like with the almond sauce. Oh my God, delicious. The fresh ginger and garlic in that sauce really, really makes it. You can taste the coconut aminos, which taste just like soy sauce, and the rice wine vinegar, which has a little sweet taste. So very good. So a wonderful way to get a lot of protein into your diet in a very tasty, different, unusual recipe. The Ordinary is probably one of the most loved skincare brands out there right now. Truly, who doesn't love The Ordinary? And for good reason. The Ordinary really democratized skincare and launched with effective, super affordable products that really, really worked. Launched in 2016 under the umbrella of Deciem, they initially had 27 products. It was so popular in the beginning that I think they doubled their wholesale sales within the first 6 months. It really just hit the market in a huge way. Why? Because The Ordinary was really one of the very first companies, if not the first, to democratize skincare. And what does that mean? Who democratizes skincare and how do you do that? What they did is they really broke down what works with skincare, realized it was very, very affordable, and packaged them up and sold them to the public so that now everyone could afford good skincare. Up to that point, skincare was really kind of this mysterious thing on purpose, overpriced, incredibly expensive, and just not available for everyone. So The Ordinary coming out with this great line of affordable, super effective products was a game changer for the industry. When I started my channel back in 2019, I really kind of cut my teeth on learning about skincare with The Ordinary. Why? Because they were so affordable and they had so many very, very good products that were easy to use and very, very effective. The Ordinary really was how I got started into skincare and learned a lot about what works on my skin. The other day I was sort of surfing the web looking at skincare and decided to go bounce on over to The Ordinary and look around and see what they had, like I don't know. And I came across their page called Best Sellers. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun for us to really take a deep dive or a moderate dive into the bestsellers for The Ordinary? I had to know that anything that had made on the bestseller list of The Ordinary was going to be extremely good because they're so popular anyway. They have such saturation in the market. They're so well loved that the bestsellers had to be really, really good. So today I'm going to go through the top 12 bestsellers for The Ordinary. I've been using them for the last several days and tell you a little bit about what they can do, what my experience has been with them, and how you might want to use them in your skincare routine. We're going to start out today with The Ordinary Squalane Cleanser, and surprisingly, I had never used this before. This is a lovely cream, non foaming cleanser that does a really beautiful job of cleaning your skin. And you know what? Even when I put it onto my hand right now, it feels like moisturizer. Squalane is a very hydrating ingredient, so this is a perfect cleanser if you have more mature skin, dry skin, or skin that just needs a little bit more of a sensitive, soft cleanser. This is a beautiful formula. I'm really enjoying using it, and I've actually moved it into my shower, so it's become my daily cleanser. Next up is a very popular product. Clearly, all these are popular. This is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% Toning Solution. I'm really enjoying this, and actually, I'm going to add this into my skincare routine. I really haven't used a toner in probably 2 years now, and when I read about what this does, I thought, you know what, I'm going to keep that in my routine. This is formulated with a little bit of pepperberry, which is a great exfoliant. It's perfect for aging or more mature skin because it really does soften wrinkles and improve your skin texture over time. What I do with this is I put it on a reusable cotton round that's been dampened, put a good amount on this, and I just wipe it all over my face right after I wash my face or rinse my face. I'm really liking it, and the fact that it has the pepperberry in it really helps to eliminate those sebaceous filaments that I get on my face or little blackheads, because I still do get them on my nose and my chin. If you're looking for a good toner that's super affordable, this is a great one to add to your routine. Next up on the bestseller list from The Ordinary is the Azelaic Acid Suspension 10%. While this is a great product, I'm not sure it's going to have very wide application for women in our age group. This is a wonderful product to help with skin breakouts or blemishes. I don't know that many women our age are still getting blemishes. However, if you are, it's right here. This is a creamy formula. You don't need very much. It really helps with uneven skin tone and clarifies and cleans the skin as you wear it over time. It improves texture, dullness, and the look of redness, and it's much more gentle than other direct acids. So if you have someone in your family that has a problem with blemishes or breakouts, you might suggest this as a great choice. Next up is the multi-peptide plus hyaluronic acid serum. Where did this come from? Well, this is the Buffet, one of the most popular serums from The Ordinary. The Buffet is almost legendary because of all the great combination of ingredients in this particular serum. They've recently renamed it to, I'll say it again, the multi-peptide plus hyaluronic acid serum, which is probably a better descriptor than the name The Buffet. This is perfect for women our age and is really supportive with the multi-peptide formulation in this. This is a wonderful serum. It's going to target fine lines, wrinkles. It's going to address dryness and crow's feet and includes matrixyl in it. So a wonderful formula, super affordable. If you're looking for a serum that has a whole bunch of good stuff in it, this is a great choice. Then we have another great choice. This is the multi-peptide plus copper peptides serum. So this is the Buffet with copper peptides, or that was the old name. They've renamed it to kind of describe it a little bit better. What I can say about the inclusion of copper peptides is it's brilliant. And if you look at the bottle right here, you can see that this bottle is brown while this bottle is clear. The reason it's brown is because of the addition of those copper peptides, which will lose their efficacy when exposed to light. And you can see right here that this serum is blue, which really denotes the addition of copper peptides. I can tell you from my experience that copper peptides rocked my world. I was so surprised after I did about a 2-month test using copper peptides. I was shocked at the plumpness of my skin. It was one of the things that I really remember in my skincare journey. After I'd been using the copper peptides for a couple of months, the plumpness in my skin was so different. It really is amazing what this little ingredient can do. If you haven't used copper peptides before and you want to have a little bit more plumpness in your skin, this is a really easy and very affordable way to get that into your routine. I think it took me about 8 weeks before I started noticing just the bounciness of my skin. It really was remarkable. So the multi-peptide serum plus copper peptides, again, super affordable. This one is very effective. And if you end up using it, I think you're going to be surprised at the changes in your skin for the good with the addition of copper peptides. As a little accessory to that copper peptide formula, they also have the multi-peptide eye serum. This is probably the most expensive serum of all the ones I'll be showing today. I believe it retails for about $25, which for the ordinary is super expensive, which cracks me up because that's super inexpensive for other serum lines. This formulation is more expensive, particularly for the volume, because of the concentration of the ingredients in here. It's a multi-peptide serum. This one is clear. It really targets those under eye dark circles, puffiness, crow's feet, those types of issues that we seem to get as we get a little bit older. So if you're looking for a very, very potent, concentrated, effective under eye serum, give this one a try. It's very, very affordable compared to other under eye serums out on the market. And coming from The Ordinary, I really do believe that they have a great formulation in this tiny little bottle. Now we're on to one of my favorites from The Ordinary. And I've been using this since the start of my skincare routine, at least. It was one of the first products that I really fell in love with from The Ordinary. This is the niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. Niacinamide is a wonderful ingredient. It is suited for most skin types, almost all of them. Very, very few people react negatively to niacinamide. Now, what does it do? It just helps almost any skin type perform better. It really addresses the skin barrier, this tone and texture of your skin. It's just one of those fabulous ingredients that's going to help your skin just look better. I use The Ordinary niacinamide every single day in my routine in the AM, and oftentimes I'll use it in the PM. One of the interesting things that you can do is if you use a tretinoin or a retinol product in the evening, you can go ahead and put on the niacinamide first to give your face moisture and slip all over it before you go in with your retinol, helping distribution and absorption of that retinol. So that's a nice little trick that you can do with the niacinamide. This comes in 2 sizes. I just buy the big size now, so this is my personal bottle, and it's still super affordable. I know I'm going to use it. It's more economical to get the bigger bottle, so that's just what I do. Next up is the hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5. Beautiful formula. We know that hyaluronic acid is really a hydrator for your skin. One thing you may not know is that continued use of hyaluronic acid, regular use on a daily basis, is really going to help sustain the moisture content in your skin. I know it's easy to use it once in a while thinking, oh, I really want hydration today. If you use it regularly, you're really going to see a sustained improvement in the moisture content in your skin. This formula is awesome. It contains, let me just go ahead and read it. It's a mouthful. This water-based formulation combining low, medium, and high molecular weight hyaluronic acid molecules and a next generation hyaluronic acid cross polymer. See, I could not have remembered this. To support hydration to multiple layers of your skin. So we're looking at the external and the deeper layers of the skin. With regular use, it boosts hydration and strengthens the skin barrier. So there's a really compelling reason to continue to use hyaluronic acid in your skincare routine. I know for me, living in such a humid area here in Florida, it would be easy for me to say, no, I get plenty of hydration just from the moisture in the air. But the fact is that if you use hyaluronic acid on a regular basis over time, that hydration is really going to plump up your skin, stick in your skin, and become a regular component of your skin, giving you that really plump, glowy look. So a great product, again, super affordable. Everything from The Ordinary is. Now we have another one of my favorites. I've talked about this a lot on my channel. This is the argireline solution from The Ordinary. What does argireline do? It softens lines on your face and other parts of your body, but I use it on my face. I use it on my 11s and on my crow's feet. Even though there are a lot of people that say there's no way that this could penetrate into the skin to have the effect effect that it does. Fact of the matter is that it does work for me. So I guess I'm an anomaly. Maybe you use this too. I use this on my leave-ins and on my crow's feet. It really does soften them. And when I stop using it, by golly, I can tell right away. This particular bottle is a mix of argireline and matrixyl. The matrixyl is also from The Ordinary. Why? Because I had so many of you say if you combine the matrixyl with the argireline, it's even more potent. So I'm giving it a test and try. I figure it absolutely can't hurt. Both of them are super affordable. They do a great job of softening lines and wrinkles on more mature skin or any skin. So that's my formulation for my argireline. Again, super affordable. I think it's maybe $10, $12. Even if that. So another affordable, wonderful serum from The Ordinary. The Ordinary's Lash and Brow Serum came out and created quite a stir. This is a multi-peptide serum for your lashes and brows. I only use it on my lashes, and it's super easy to do. It comes with this tiny little brush. You just swipe it onto your eyelids right above your lashes, and it really does support, lengthen, and volumize your lashes. I love it. Again, it's very, very affordable. Gosh, I think it's maybe $14 or $15, where a lot of these lash serums are $40, $50, $60 and more. Is it the most lengthening serum I've ever used? No, it's not, but it's really pretty good, and it doesn't turn my eyelids red. The serums that I've used that really, really lengthen more than this turn my eyelids red. I'm not sure what's in it that does that, but I do like the fact that this keeps my lashes long, not the longest, but long, without discoloring my eyelids. So a great serum from The Ordinary, again, super affordable. Am I sounding like a broken record? Because it's the truth. Now we're on to a long time favorite of mine from The Ordinary, and I talk about this on my channel quite a bit. This is the AHA BHA peeling solution, and if you haven't seen this before, this is such a unique product. I absolutely love it. It is red, and you can see it right here. And the nice thing about this is that when you put it on your face, you can see where it is. So it's easy to move it around and get it all over your face. What does this do? This really exfoliates your face. Now, why do we want to exfoliate? Well, I'll tell you. If you're just starting on your skincare journey, you most likely have a whole lot of old, dead skin cells built up on your face. That's why your face might not be looking shiny and glowy and fresh like you want it to look. You can't imagine, like, why does my skin look like that? Mostly because of the buildup on your face. This product made such a big difference for me in the beginning with my skincare routine because it really helped to freshen up my skin by exfoliating off all those old dead skin cells. I probably used this 2 to 3 times a week when I first started my routine. Now I use it about once a week. The way that I do it is that I just get some in the dropper. I put it all over my face, making sure you don't get it in your eye area because that would be a miserable situation. And I leave it on my skin for, oh gosh, probably 10-15 minutes. I think they say between 7 and 10 minutes. When you rinse this off, your skin looks beautiful and fresher. It really is a beautiful peeling solution and so very effective and so very affordable. If you have sensitive skin, I'm not sure this is for you. If you think you want to try it, you can. It's very affordable. It's under $10. You could go ahead and get yourself a bottle and then just do a small test somewhere on your face to make sure that you're comfortable with it before you put it all over your face. One thing that's interesting to me about this is I think that over the last few years, they have changed the formulation to make this more comfortable. When I first started using it, I would have to busy myself doing something while it was on my face so I wouldn't notice the stinging. I mean, it was a little bit ouchy in the beginning. It doesn't do that now. I've had a couple of other people say that they've used it for the first time and it didn't sting on them. So I'm thinking they may have backed off on this formulation a little bit so that it's more comfortable to use. So if you have sensitive skin, just be aware of that. If you have normal or regular skin, this is an absolute must in your skincare routine. It will do wonders for the brightness and the glowiness of your skin. And the number 12 product, and what we're going to finish up today, is the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors with Hyaluronic Acid. This is an excellent moisturizer, and it's so good for in the evening. It has a thicker, more occlusive feel on it, so it's a great way to finish up your evening skincare routine and really hydrate your skin overnight. I'm going to go ahead and read everything that's in here because it's a mouthful, and you'll be amazed at what's all in this formula. Amino acids, fatty acids, triglycerides, urea, ceramides, phospholipids, glycerin, saccharides, sodium PCA, and hyaluronic acid. I'll tell you what, this is packed full with ingredients that are going to just really, really hydrate your skin. And I like the formula for the evening because it's a little bit thicker and a little bit more inclusive. In other words, once you get your skincare serums on and you put this on top of it, it really is going to hold everything into your skin while hydrating it. This is one of the moisturizers that I've been using regularly. I kind of cycle different products in and out, but this is an absolute dream of a moisturizer because of all those fabulous ingredients in it. Chock full of nutrients for your skin, very, very hydrating, super soothing and comfortable. This natural moisturizing factors with hyaluronic acid, it's a winner in my book. Those are the current favorites from the worldwide users of The Ordinary. I thought this would be a fun little segment to do. It's a great company. They do it right. They're super affordable. They're super effective. You just can't miss with anything from The Ordinary. I'm heading to the hairdresser today, which, oh my gosh, is long overdue, as you can tell by my roots. And here's an interesting little factoid. The stylist that I'm going to now here in Florida is the same stylist I had when I lived up at Lake Tahoe. I'm not kidding you. My stylist, Jenny, has been doing my hair, gosh, over 10 years now. I found her when I first moved to Incline Village, and then I traveled around and that sort of thing and moved back to South Reno, not too far from the lake, and called her up, and she was still doing hair, and she says, oh yeah, come on over. And you guys will have to see, when she first started doing my hair, and I'll try to find a picture, my hair was long, it was kind of a burgundy red, and I had these blonde highlights in the front. I'll try to include a picture over here. It's very different than what I have now. So I'm off to see Jenny today. She actually moved to Florida a couple of weeks before I moved to South Carolina. She lives in Daytona Beach, which is a couple of hours from me, but oh, it is so worth it because she does such a great job. And another interesting fact is Lori was having a hard time finding someone to cut her hair, and I referred her to Jenny. She drove over to Daytona, loved Jenny. So I'm heading to Lori's house right now to pick her up, and we've got back-to-back appointments with Jenny. So it makes it kind of fun, you know, someone to talk to on the drive and just do it together. The reason I'm bringing you guys in is because so many people have asked me what color my hair is or how I get it done, and it's like, I don't know. I just sit in the chair and Jenny does whatever she does. So I thought I would take you guys along. Jenny can talk a little bit about how she styles my hair or colors my hair, whatever wisdom she wants to share. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. This is my wonderful hairdresser, hairstylist, and good friend, and one of my favorite people on the planet, Jenny. And like I said, we met in Reno, and then she came to Florida. I went to South Carolina, and now I'm in Florida too, so she's back to being my stylist. I'm so thrilled about that.
Hi.
I've had so many people say, what color is your hair? And I'm like, I don't know. I just sit in the chair and she does it. So why don't you tell us what you do with my hair color?
So I give her a partial highlight, a really baby lighted partial highlight, and then we tone with a really light ash of violet blue.
Okay.
So that's usually all we do.
So I'm just a bleach blonde. There you go. That's all there is to it. With a little toner in the end. All right, you're going to be able to watch her do her magic a little bit. Then I probably am going to film Lori getting her haircut too, because we are on a girls' trip today. All right, ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's do it.
Let's go. I just got back from the gym, not dressed up here at all, but you can see my new hairdo. It's looking good. Thank you, Jenny. I wanted to address some questions I had when I talked about all the places I've lived and where I've traveled. If you didn't see that video, I'll kind of catch you up. I have lived on the West Coast. That's where I was raised. That's where I raised my daughters. From the Northern California area, I lived up in Portland, Oregon area. I've lived in Montana. I've lived in Mexico in several different locations on several different times in my life. I've lived in Ecuador. I traveled around quite a bit. I lived in Italy for a couple of months. I don't know if you'd call that living or just a long visit. And so many of you said, "Oh my gosh, how could you afford to do that?" And you know what my answer is? If you want to spend a lot of money, live in the US. I am not kidding you. It is so inexpensive to live in other countries compared to the US and to travel there. Let me give you an example. When I was living in Ecuador and I was in a little town called Cuenca, it has a huge American or expat population there, particularly in the downtown Cuenca area. In Cuenca, Ecuador, a beautiful furnished 2-bedroom apartment will run you around $350 to $400 a month. That's it. I was living in Ecuador. My rent, my groceries, my utilities, my entertainment, everything all combined was less than half of what I'm just paying for rent now. Living in the US is so expensive. And I don't think that we realize that if we haven't traveled outside of the country. Let me give you another example. When I went to Italy, I lived in Florence for 2 months. This was way back when Airbnb was just starting. I had a beautiful apartment in Florence, furnished for 2 months. Was right down the street from the Duomo. I went to sleep at night listening to the bells from the Duomo. It had a loft bedroom and then a pull-out sofa downstairs in the living room, which a girlfriend stayed in for about a week when I was there. And all told, my rent in that apartment was $800 a month. I'm not kidding. In Florence, right down the street from the Duomo, which is significantly less than what you pay for rent in the US right now. If you hear someone traveling outside of the US and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that is so expensive, it's almost the opposite is true. When I would figure my airfare and my rent and my food, all told, when I would travel from place to place, I was spending so much less than I would have spent to live in the US, because not only was my rent less expensive, food is way less expensive, particularly in Mexico and Ecuador. I didn't own a car, so I didn't have car insurance, gas, maintenance, all of that. I would walk everywhere when I was traveling. No one really had a car that I knew of, and if you wanted a car, you would rent it just for a day or two. So all these expenses that we just take for granted or just shoulder without even thinking about living in the US weren't there. And I can tell you what, if my friends in Ecuador knew what I was paying for rent now, which is not exorbitant, it's not. It's market prices of what I'm paying for rent. And my rent is probably a little bit lower here in Florida than a lot of places in the US. Even still, my friends would be choking on how much I was paying for rent because life in Ecuador was so very inexpensive. So when I look back at probably the year and a half that I traveled outside of the US, and then another probably year that I traveled inside the US, it was so much less expensive than my life today. And I don't think people really realize that. The only additional expense that I would have would be a flight from where I was to where I wanted to go. But my food, my rent, my entertainment, all of that was so much less expensive than it is now. And you know, it's funny to me, when I first left the US to travel full time, I had sold everything. I sold my house, I sold my car, I sold all my furniture or gifted it to my daughter. I got rid of everything. The only thing I kept was one box filled with birth certificates and medical records and mementos, and I had a carry-on suitcase and a backpack. That's all I owned in the world. I'd sold my kayaks, I had sold everything. And when I left, I knew that I was looking at a much more affordable lifestyle living outside of the US, and I really wasn't sure that I was ever going to come back to the US. I was going on that journey to really look if there was a place that I would rather live than in the US. Well, I ended up coming back to the States. Now I'm living, of course, in Central Florida. But what I can tell you is that those people who are traveling outside the US and those people who have relocated or are now living in another country other than the US, I'll bet you anything, their expenses are a whole lot less than what we just take for granted here today. So I hope that answers the question. No, I'm not independently wealthy. No, I'm not rich. None of that. I'm just average. But I did figure out that traveling outside of the US was going to be so much less expensive than actually living here, and I took advantage of that fact. That's an update on my little travel adventure. If you have any more questions about when I traveled, go ahead and put them down in the comment section below. I'd love to talk about it because I think traveling is just a wonderful thing. Of course, now I have Lucy and Dex, so my traveling days are probably pretty limited, at least for the time being. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 and over 60 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.